All right, guys, welcome to Kitchen Daddy. Now, strap yourselves in because this week we have got wood on the fire, we've got ale in the tankards, so we're gonna make some fire and ale oxtail. That's right, we're gonna smoke some beautiful oxtail on the smoker, low and slow for about 2.5 hours before braising it in a wonderful ale gravy. We're gonna pop that back on the smoker and let that cook really, really slow. So you've got these wonderful flavors of oxtail, beer, and fire. Come on, boys, let's get into it. Now, after that introduction, I kind of feel like I've released my inner Brian Blessed there. So we're gonna calm things down a little bit. And if you don't know who he is, look him up. So to kick things off, let's grab our oxtail. Now I've got a roasting tray here. Let's pour them in, and that way we're going to be able to season this up a little bit easier. Now let's grab some salt and a big load of pepper. And guys, trust me, right? Just because it's barbecue doesn't mean we've got to put loads of spices in there. You know, if we're talking about traditional barbecue where we're going to add loads of different, spices in there, fine. But for this, all I want is fire, ale, and oxtail. And that, guys, is going to be perfect. Now, let's get that onto the smoker. That just looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? So we're going to get the lid on there, 250 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's about 125 degrees Celsius. We're going to smoke that over almond wood, as always. Almond wood is just my favorite now, guys. So we're going to do that. We're going to smoke that for probably about 2.5 hours. Now, to make our ale braising liquid, let's get a large pan on a nice medium heat. And guys, this is a pan which we can put on the smoker as well. So like a big casserole dish, okay? Now we need to add a good splash of olive oil. Let's get some finely sliced onions in there. We need to add some salt and a few knobs of butter. Now I'm going to move that around, pop the lid back on. We're going to sweat that for about 5 minutes. Okay, that looks great. So let's add some carrots and celery. We're going to move that around again and we're going to cook that out for about 10 minutes. And guys, I've basically got 1 onion, probably 2 carrots and about 2 sticks of celery in there. Okay, that's looking great. They've actually had about 15 minutes, but they've all started to sweat down. We've got a little bit of color coming on them as well. So let's add in our aromatics. So I've got a few sprigs of rosemary and thyme, a couple of bay leaves, and we've got about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. Now let's move that around, give that a good mix together. We're going to sweat that out for about another 5 minutes. Okay, that's looking great. So we need to add 2 teaspoons of tomato paste. Now drop the temperature a little bit. We want to move that around, cook it out for about 5 minutes. At this point, sometimes it can catch, so just keep an eye on it. Add a splash more oil if necessary. Okay, that's ready. So let's grab a couple of bottles of beer. We're going to pour all of that in. Watch, it is obviously going to foam up a little bit. Now let's give that a good mix together. And guys, if you're wondering what beer I'm using Fat Tire, which is like an amber ale. Okay, let's bring that up to the boil, and we want to let the beer reduce down by about half. Okay, that looks great. So let's pop that aside, and we'll come back to that once the oxtails are ready. Guys, those just look absolutely incredible. Oh my word, I'm so happy with the way they look. So let's get them off. We're going to pop them in a bowl and let's get them over to the braising liquid. So let's get the oxtails in. And a little tip, guys, get the largest pieces in first of all, and then you can play jigsaw with the smaller pieces of oxtail as well. Now we want to cover that in chicken stock. And guys, you can use beef stock or chicken stock. I've got chicken stock here, so that's what we're using. Now let's just bring that back up to just below boiling point. Okay, let's get that back on the smoker. We're going to cook that 250 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's about 125 degrees Celsius. We're going to cook that for about 4 to 5 hours. And guys, that is going to be absolutely incredible. See you soon. All right, guys, welcome back to day 2. You know, just like tonight, it all got a little bit too dark yesterday to do too much filming, so we're going to have to rattle through this really, really quick. But let me tell you what I did. I let it cool down after I took it off the smoker, and it had about 4 or 5 hours. Once it was cool, I popped it in the fridge, and we do that for 2 reasons, and I really recommend that you do this. So, one, it always tastes better the day after. So any stews or things like that, they always taste better the following day rather than on the day of actual cooking. And 2, come and have a look at this. There we go, guys. Right, have a look at this. So all of that orange on there, that is all the fat. And guys, oxtail is notoriously fatty. It is a really, really fatty piece of meat. So the great thing about shoving it in the fridge is that you can now start to scrape that away, get most of that fat off, because what generally happens is you'll end up cooking oxtail and you won't skim off all the fat. So when people start tasting it, all they're eating is the fat, so you don't get the lovely flavour coming through in the sauce. So most people end up having the fat. So anyway, this is what you need to do. Do that, definitely recommend it. And now we've got to get the oxtails out so we can pass the sauce. And unfortunately, because oxtail is so gelatinous, it is one big solid block. I've got this on a nice gentle heat, and over about 5-10 minutes, all of that liquid, all that jelly and the fat is just going to go back to its liquid state, and then we're going to be able to fish out the oxtails and pop them into a roasting tray. They look absolutely fantastic, and hands up for all my long-term viewers, what do you think we're going to do next? You know it. You know it. We're going to pass all of this liquid and all the vegetables through a fine sieve. We don't want to have the vegetables, we want that beautiful liquid. And of course, we're going to use our ladle and squeeze down on those vegetables to get out as much liquid as possible. Right, let's grab our cast iron pan. We need to get some oxtails in there. I want to pour over about 3 or 4 ladles of that sauce. We're going to set that on a nice gentle temperature, and we're just going to keep on basting those oxtails with the sauce. Just do that every few minutes or so. And guys, you know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to build up the most beautiful sticky glaze all over these oxtails. As that sauce reduces, it's going to really intensify in flavour. Honestly, I don't need to tell you anymore because it is going to be so beautiful. Right, here we go, boys. Ale and oxtail. Oh, does it get any better than that? Cheers to you guys, cheers. Right, come on, man. First up, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try the sauce because the sauce, you have to make this recipe, guys. Got to. Jesus, that is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And now, lovely piece of oxtail. This cooking on the smoker, like smoking meats, then cooking them and braising them like this, it's by far my favourite way of cooking now. It really is. It is absolutely incredible. You just get this wonderful character to the meat. but you don't actually, you don't lose anything. It really adds to it. So the sauce is really delicious. You've got that kind of like lightness. Like you wouldn't know that there was beer in there. It's not really over pronounced, but just works incredibly well. An oxtail, guys, go and buy it. I am going to enjoy this and this. And I'm really sorry. I'm not getting back to you guys in the comments. I'm going to try and do it. It's just a bit impossible at the moment, kind of up to here. But I do read every single comment. So keep commenting. And thank you all last week for all the votes to do the salmon. We will get that in. And rock on Kitchen Daddy. You guys are legends. Cheers, man. Take care. Bye-bye. Whoa, hang on, mate. If you enjoyed this video, I've got 3 options for you. Check out the Kitchen Daddy website over here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel right here. And then check out another Kitchen Daddy video right by here. But why not be a legend and do all 3?